Rise and shine. It's time to get the day started with the morning show of record for the Homestead community. It is the Farm2Table Direct Show Morning Edition. Good morning, everybody. Glad to see you all welcome in, especially to the morning crew. Glad to have you all in with us this morning, and hope your day is off to a great and wonderful start. Good morning, Rebecca. Good morning, Jack. Good morning, Robbie. Glad to see you all in this morning. Hope your day is starting out well and heading into the weekend, as it's that time of the day, that time of the week. But anyway, it is Chat Rules Friday, the day that you have control over the topics and the direction that we go. So we'll be keeping an eye on the chat and seeing what might pop up over there for hot topics and hot issues of the day. And of course, we'll proceed through the show as normal and see what happens there with that. So we'll get ready. Here we go. All right. It is Chat Rules Friday, as I said, but let's head over to Dyer Family Farm for the Redneck Weather Report. Good morning, Scotty. Glad to see you in this morning, buddy. All right. Head on over here and see what Jack has to say today.
Good morning, Rednecks. It is 55 degrees, March the 7th, 2025. We got a 13-mile-an-hour south wind making it feel like it's 52 degrees. We're going to get to 75 today. Good morning, Rooster. God bless y'all. We'll see you again tomorrow. Good.
Oh, I got distracted by the rooster there, Jack. And yeah, I noticed on the comments, and I have to ask the same question. Where was your cup of coffee, Jack? Where was your cup of coffee? Good morning, Joy Bartlett. Good to see you in. Let's all, everybody's saying hi to each other over in the chat and saying good morning and all that. So we'll let that continue to roll. Let's blow right on into today's reality smackdown and then into history. Yeah, 10 Democrats voted with Republicans to censure Representative Al Green uh, uh, after his outburst at the joint session speech. Good morning. We've got Tracy and Tim. We've convinced Tim to join the kitchen. Okay. Well, good deal. Glad to see that. And yes, on time. And the mornings are getting a little bit lighter. That is a fact. Matter of fact, don't forget tomorrow night. Uh, uh, Tomorrow night, Sunday morning, however you want to put that. This is Daylight Savings Time weekend. And Anyway, before we go any further with that, I'm going to highlight this. Uh, Jack, are you saying that Leon is going to be at the rendezvous? Is that, if I'm reading that correct, that we've got gardening with Leon? Leon Sloan is going to be at the rendezvous, Oklahoma Homestead Rendezvous. That if so, that is awesome news. That'll be a great speaker. Looking forward to seeing him in a couple of weeks anyway. As a matter of fact, yeah, 2 weeks from today, folks, 2 weeks from today is the Oklahoma Homestead Rendezvous, or not Oklahoma Homestead, Okie Homestead Expo. Boy, I'm getting way ahead of the calendar. Uh, yes, awesome. Okay, awesome. That is great news, Jack. Thanks for sharing that out the gate this morning. Uh, anyway, uh, Yeah, I just read. Let's see, we're going to hear. Rebecca was from my typing. Yeah, I hope they leave it instead of keeping changing from daylight savings time to regular this time. It's not going to happen at the present time. President Trump has come out and said they're kind of backing off of that because the country is so divided on it. I'd like it to leave it on. Some people want to go to daylight savings, and uh, some wanted it on regular standard time. I personally would say leave it on standard time because that's, the certain doctors say it's healthier. He couldn't have time for the cup of coffee this morning. That's terrible. But anyway, Jack. Okay. Well, it was just different seeing it that way. But yes, good deal on Leon being there. and daylight savings time. We'll talk about that here in a minute. Let me get on through the news and the history right quick, and we'll do that. SpaceX had another Starship explode in space, again, raining debris over the Caribbean. Uh, Everybody's dropping their weather in over there. That's good. And yeah, Scotty's getting our weather. It's like I think he probably hates hearing our weather because sometimes he might know what's coming. But anyway, uh, Trump tells cabinet secretaries that they, not Musk, are in charge of staff cuts. And Senate Republicans push to codify Doge cuts after Musk meeting. So a little bit going on. Yeah, I haven't had coffee yet. That'll be very, very shortly. But anyway, the few things heading on in the headlines. I'm sure more stuff will pop in through the day, but it always does. It's Friday. Now, for this day in history, 1774, King George III charges colonists in Boston with attempting to injure British commerce, paving the way for the closing of the port to punish colonists for the Boston Tea Party. Uh, 1776, Alexander Graham Bell receives a patent for the telephone in the U.S. Good morning, Janae. Glad to see you in with us this morning as well. Let's see, 1870. Let's see, I read that. 1911, U.S. sends 20,000 troops to the Mexican border. Seems like that just happened. Amazing. Anyway, 1942, first cadets graduate from flying school at Tuskegee, Alabama. 1967, Teamster President Jimmy Hoffa begins 8-year jail sentence for defrauding the union and jury tampering. Sentence was commuted December of 1971. Let's see, 1975, U.S. Senate revises the filibuster rule, allows 60 senators to limit debate. I don't know if that was a good idea or not. I think I might have been left alone. But anyway, 1993, Different Strokes actor Todd Bridges arrested for stabbing a tenant. What you talking about, Will? What you talking about, Willis? Anyway, 2016, jumping way forward, Peyton Manning announces his retirement from the Denver Broncos and the NFL. Uh, we ending a great career in the NFL for those who followed him. And 2024, just this last year, Sweden officially joins NATO as the alliance's 32nd member, abandoning its 200-year-old policy of neutrality. I don't know. But anyway, there is the history of the day. Uh, and let's see. Wild Huckleberry, Robbie says, I'm a daylight savings time proponent as well. Like I said, I guess in truth, for me, on daylight savings time, it is pick one. Pick one. I'm good either way, honestly. Just pick one. I don't care what it is. Just stop messing with me twice a year. Um, because Saturday night, Sunday morning is going to happen, and I'm going to spend a week or two dragging. I'm going to spend a week or two trying to get used to it, and then come fall, go through it all over again. And I mean, I hate it, and it's just not something I enjoy. Making all that switch back and forth. It's just, anyway, yeah. Let's see, what do we got? I'm scrolling back through the chat, seeing if there was any topics outside of that. Because, I mean, I think daylight savings time, again, is, a big deal. Let's see, Rebecca chimed back in. Yeah, same thing. I don't care which one they do, just want it to stop. That's it. Uh, and Wild Hunter says, I'd like it to be dark later in the winter. Yeah, that's kind of the thing, it's kind of those weird deals. It's like something about it being dark at 5 o'clock in the afternoon that kind of messes up the whole program. I mean, if you're going to do anything when you get off work, uh, you're doing it with a headlight. So I mean, you got to have lights on. You got to have something like that. Just takes the motivation right out of doing anything productive. Which I don't know. Maybe the way they like it. I don't know. But maybe there's a reason to it. I don't know. I think only a politician can come up with the idea that you can save daylight. I don't. move the clock and you save something. I think it's kind of silly, but and at the time maybe they had a good justification. I don't know, but for me, pick one. Don't care which one, just pick one and leave it alone. So that's that. Let's see. What did I read? Read some stuff. Of course, eggs are continuing to be, the price of eggs and the whole thing there are continuing to be a hot topic around the country, all over right now. So prices, they're saying, could go up 41%. And, you know, this year, 41 more percent, which I think is, I can understand it. I say some things. I know some people have a lot of varying opinions on it, but I see it as opportunity right now for small farmers and people with with backyard flocks and people who sell eggs at the markets and things like that. I just see a lot of opportunities. A lot of people are looking for food. The movement is growing. And speaking of the growing, I guess, it'll be a good day. We're 2 weeks out. We can talk a little bit about Oklahoma Homestead Rendezvous. Not Oklahoma. Man, I have got that since Jack. Thanks, Jack. Got that on my head now with you telling us that Leon is coming. That's great news that we got Leon coming to that. That's just, that's awesome. Oh, for those who are interested, chicken auction tomorrow in Newcastle, Oklahoma. Don't miss this one, Jack. Now, you can't go get lunch and think you're going to come back and get chickens. I mean, you got to be there. Okie Homestead Expo. Keith and I and Mr. P, Dakota, were going through the lineup yesterday and the schedule and who all's going to be there as far as speakers and presenters and working on that. Kind of the beginnings of trying to put our schedule together. Of course, knowing many of y'all will be there and many of our friends that we'll look forward to getting to talk to and sit down with. We're going to do things, excuse me, a little bit different this year. In the past, the first year we went, we literally just brought a camera, a tripod, and our cell phone cameras. And Keith and and them came on Friday. I came on Saturday, and that was our first year. We didn't know anybody, and so it was just talk to whoever we could talk to and meet friends. The second year, which was last year, we went, and of course, many of y'all have seen the big set. The big truss set and the screen and the stages and everything that we bring when we come to that and see us set up. And so we did that. And of course, we brought coffee last year, made coffee, which turned out to be a blessing for them and us. Unfortunately, a vendor bailed out and we had coffee and it was cold. So we did really well. But as far as the auction, okay, that's the auction at Newcastle. Starts at noon. Check in if you're selling is at 9. If you're selling is at 9, okay. So that's some information for some of the people who may be out in that area looking for that tomorrow. Anyway, so this year, and so we set up and same thing. We did a lot of interviews. We got people over. We had people willing to come over and kind of filled it up. But we also did a lot of what we call run and gun. We were out on our cameras, going through the vendor barns and trying to find out, just really hustling, getting bits and pieces of the presentations and the speakers and stuff because per the request of those at Okie, we can record, but don't give anything away kind of thing. So large sessions, that sort of thing. So that's what we did. This year, we're taking a slightly different approach. We're getting in a little earlier, kind of putting our list together of who we expect to be able to have sit-down interviews on our set, so basically what we're going to be doing is actually doing the Farm2Table Direct Show on site at the Okie Expo. So looking forward to that. And yes, Saturday was cold. Let's see. All right, let's get on over here. Robbie says he needs to find a good auction or two around where he lives. Yeah, that'd be a good thing. We've got, I think I've got 3 livestock barns within a 40 minute drive. And some of them just do cows. That's all they do. one or two of them, they do goats and other forms of livestock at their auctions. Good morning, bro. Glad to see you in this morning. Didn't know if you'd be up or not. But anyway, and let's see. Well, there he is. Uh, anyway, Jack said, had some of the coffee y'all had at the expo. Thank you. And Saturday was cold. Yeah, it was. That was a brutally cold day last year. And yeah. All right. Tracy, that's the idea, kind of, is to do our show. I am going to do the morning show each morning before we get started. So that'll probably be being done from, it's either going to be done from the Airbnb. Uh, if everything works well, what we're thinking about doing is instead of doing the show at 6 on that, I'll do it Thursday before we leave at 6. And then Friday, which is, of course, open Friday, we're thinking about pushing it to 7 a.m. instead of 6 a.m. that Friday, which we'll announce that week. So that we can do the morning edition live from our set at the Okie Expo. So that'll be the one thing that we're going to try to do a little bit different as well, is doing this show live on set. So that there, but then also, like I said, we'll be doing a lot of our interviews. Going to try to do most of those on set. So basically, bringing the show, we're going to have it kind of set up where if people want to hang out and watch who we're interviewing and hear the interview on site, that's kind of a goal. So something to look forward to our friends that are going to be there, and add a little something to the expo, but not take away from the expo. So anyway, yeah, that's kind of the idea there. But anyway, looking forward to it. Uh, well, Jack, I will tell you this: I have. How shall we say this? I'm not getting up at 4 a.m. to do the redneck weather report. Now, if you want to come do it live on the show that Friday morning, that would be awesome. And might even do a special on Saturday that morning, seeing as we are going to be up there Friday and Saturday. Because bro, mark this down. Jack said he might do the redneck weather report live with us on the show. Uh, and anyway. So yeah. And Robbie said, I've hung around and listened to your shows both years. If you do it at 7, I'll already be at the fairgrounds. Yeah, that's kind of why we looked at 7, was to give us time to get up and be over there. If I do it at 6, it'd have to be at the Airbnb. We're not going to be over at the fairground that early. And so, which we're not very far from the fairgrounds. But anyway, just an idea. That way we're not having to try to double up, have things, laptops and everything where we can do it. We have Wi-Fi at the Airbnb, but the set's already built up. It already looks good, and we'll be ready to go. And let's see, Tracy. Listen, I said I'm excited, and I'm not going. I can't wait to hear it through all of you. Well, Tracy, it's too bad. I know it's a bit of a drive from Ohio. And there's probably a lot of logistics. But we are giving away tickets this next Tuesday on our Tuesday night show. We do it at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on Tuesday. And we are going to be, at the end of the show, we're going to be giving away a pair of tickets to the Okie Homestead Expo. So, just saying, there could be a chance. Anyway, and everybody's like loving that. Bro says he loves that idea. And Robbie says that sounds like a great idea. So okay, all right. Well, hey, there you go. Just that's how we get things. That's how we get things going there. But anyway, we will be uploading, putting quite a bit of stuff out throughout the time we're up there. For those who can't make it, you can kind of keep up with what's going on. Like I said, we can't do the presentations. We can't do as far as all of it, we can't go in there and like broadcast it or anything. So that's that. But we were going to do our best to have as many of the speakers and presenters. Anyway, tickets There you go. So tickets for Tracy and Tim. Yeah, so I mean, I know it's a bit of a drive, but trust me, they have people come from all over the country for that trip, for that show, and it's shaping up to be a good one this year. They've got quite the lineup, so looking forward to it. Uh, Praying for decent weather. I prefer not to freeze. Hey, good morning, Ed Kirkpatrick. Glad to see you in there, buddy. Speaking of Okie Homestead Expo, there is one of the sponsors for the Okie Homestead Expo. Uh, Lots of questions about that one, Ed. Lots of questions. But anyway, we look forward to seeing you there, of course, and hopefully get a chance to sit down with you and visit when you come through the area. We'll be looking for you out there, or look for us. We're probably easier to find. Uh, in a sea of 2,000 to 3,000, 4,000 people, finding one person can be a bit of a challenge. But anyway, so we'll see. We're kind of hard to miss once we're up and set up because well, we got a pretty big footprint. But anyway, so the real question, I guess, Tracy and Tim, is uh, is it the distance? Is it all the animals and having a farm sitter, or is it the tickets, or all of the above? That's what we want to know is what's keeping y'all from being at this great event. Now we do got events coming up that are probably a little closer to your neck of the woods later in the year. So look forward to maybe getting a chance to see you out at some of those. If Okie's a bit too far from Ohio to there is a bit of a drive, but. Ed, Ed says he'll find us. Yeah, we'll be in the out in the vendor barn area. As far as we know, that's where we're going to be. As some who've been there and set up, you don't know where your vendor spot is. You don't know where your spot is until you get there. So that's part of the Thursday setup and figuring out where you're at and arranging your space. But anyway, good, Ed. We hope you do come find us. And like I said, that's everybody that's going to be there. Jack, great. Okay, easy to find. Just look for the guy that talks to everyone. Yeah, there's a lot of that going on. There's a lot of that going on, no doubt about it. But Jack, you're hard to miss. You kind of stand out in the crowd, and especially if you got Clyde with you. If you got let's have a cup of coffee with you, uh, you know, two of the tallest guys around. So look forward to seeing follow. There you go. Follow the yellow brick road. I like that. Uh, oh, see, listen at this. All right, Robbie, we're loving you. All right. Scope out your spot on Wednesday. All right. Well, I won't ask you to break any rules, but a little bit of sneak peek would be a marvelous thing there, Robbie. At least giving us a heads up of a day. That'd be awesome. But no, they've the first year, like I said, we were just kind of mobile. We didn't have any set or vendor spot. But last year we did, and uh, they treated us real well. In all honesty, the rendezvous or the expo treated us real well, and so. Hats off to them. They have been gracious to us both years and treated us well last year and where they put us. Uh, they would probably put us back there again, but they needed that spot for one of the presentation stages outside, and that was right next to where we were. There was a stage there, so when they explained what they were doing, it's like okay, all right, we knew that spot was out, but we trust in them that they're going to take care of us and believe that they will. Uh, so anyway, and since my brother joined me over here in the chat after the fact, Keith, Jack announced this morning on the chat that gardening with Leon, Leon is going to be um, at Oklahoma Homestead Rendezvous I'm assuming as a speaker, presenter, all that. So uh, we will have gardening with Leon at the Oklahoma Homestead Rendezvous. Uh, Tracy, Tim, we can probably get a link up real quick. Maybe, bro, maybe you can do that for me if you're awake enough. But I know they are on. It's at okiehomesteadexpo.com, and they're also on Facebook under Okie Homestead Expo. And all the information is there, including ticket information and such as that. So Tracy, as far as that's the quick in a hurry is that you can find them on Facebook, and like I said, okiehomesteadexpo.com for Okie Homestead Expo. And yes, it is. So hopefully Keith can grab something and throw it in the chat right quick. And yes, we put videos up. And Jack says Leon should be a big draw for the rendezvous. Yes, absolutely. We will be. And be getting that out as part of the promotions. I'm sure. I know I'm going to push that, and there'll be a few conversations, I'm sure, here in a couple of weeks at the expo about rendezvous with a handful of people, discreetly and quietly, so not just to be rude to Okie, but opportunities there. And say that's Okie Homestead Expo, which is the name of it. I mean, that's right there. And you put .com, or you can find it on Facebook. So there's that. Speaking of those things, let's start moving through, because I've got about 4.5 minutes, and I've got to be out of here. I've got to literally change shirts, grab my lunchbox, and head out the door. Okay, all right, good deal. Anyway. Okay, Leon, gardening with Leon. Okay. You were talking about gardening with Leon. Yeah. Yeah, that's all you had to look at YouTube for, and he's there. And Leon is super smart, nice guy, so easy to talk to, and his wicking tubs are phenomenal. Looking forward to trying to work some of that this year. Anyway, so tip of the day. Glad you're on with us. This one, a little bit of humor this morning, so just roll with me. Think about it. I'm not going to say anything other than when I read it, and I'm going to move on, and y'all can laugh. No matter how good the hand soap smells, never walk out of the restroom while sniffing your fingers. Just saying, y'all. Just saying. Anyway, let's move right on into upcoming events. Leave that there for y'all to think about, Anyway, upcoming events. Of course, the one we've been talking about this morning, Okie Homestead Expo, March 21st and 22nd, Mays County Fairground, Pryor, Oklahoma. I know those tickets are $50 for a 2-day pass. Kids 17 and under are free. But anyway, huge lineup this year, and I mean, a lot of presentations going on. It is a busy, busy weekend, but it's going to be a good time. And as you can tell from the chat, it's going to be a lot of hanging out, a lot of people we know. Anyway, the very next weekend on March 29th, what's going on with that thing? Anyway, Arkansas Homesteading Conference, March 29th, Cleveland County Fairgrounds, Horizon, Arkansas. Hope to get to make the drive down for that one for the day, and kind of check that out and hang out with my buddy Robbie, and for another weekend, and looking forward to that one, hopefully. And then New Beginnings Homestead Expo, April 12th. That's New Beginnings Church in Nowata, Oklahoma. Keith and I will be speaking at that one, and so we will be on site doing interviews and coverage and speaking at that one-day event. This will be our second trip to that event, and the guy who puts that on is a really good dude, so looking forward to that. Glad y'all enjoyed that advice. Glad y'all liked that. Anyway, the Shindig Ozark Living Expo, April 25th and 26th, Newton County Fair and Rodeo in Jasper, Arkansas. For those on that side of the state, or out in, up near Missouri. Anyway, the Homestead Conference, Waco, Texas, April 25th and 26th. Joel Salatin, Rory Feeks, a few others are speaking down at that one. If you're in Central Texas area or looking for a place to go, April 25th and 26th, the Homestead Conference. Homesteading and Outdoor Expo, April 26th. One-day event, a barn at Oleander in Port St. Lucie, Florida. So that's coming up. April 25th through 27th, the 10 Killer YouTube Meetup, Lake 10 Killer, Oklahoma, Cherokee Landing State Park at the Creek Shelter. RSVP to 10 Killer YT Meetup at gmail.com. That is 10 Killer YT Meetup. All that's one word at gmail.com. If you got questions or RSVP. And yes, Jack, have a great day. Mid-America YouTube Meetup, Lake Eufaula State Park at the Deep Fork Campground Pavilion, May 16th through the 18th. MT Homestead is the host. So any questions or information, you can reach out to MT Homestead, OK at gmail.com. That's MT Homestead, OK at gmail.com. So that's another YouTube meetup in May. Also in May, new one I found out about yesterday, the 5th annual Sheed Farm Homestead Festival, May 17th in Garland, Kansas. That's the Sheed, SHEAD Farm Homestead Festival, May 17th, Garland, Kansas. The Homestead Festival, June 6th and 7th, Hardison Mills near Columbia, Tennessee. That's at Rory Feek's place. That's going to be a great event. Okay, this one I just added. It's not new. It's been around. I just didn't have it added in. That's Modern Homesteading Conference, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, June 27th and 28th. Modernhomesteading.com is the address there. That's another big event, and one of the sponsors and participants in that is School of Traditional Skills, which is an excellent teaching organization. Anyway, Ozarks Homestead Expo, September 5th and 6th, Marshfield, Missouri. That is another one with an awesome lineup. We're looking forward to being there. It was a great time last year. Got to get some goat's milk ice cream this year. Oklahoma now. So moving on, our very own Oklahoma Homestead Rendezvous, September 26th and 27th at the Southeast Expo Center, McAllister, Oklahoma. Tickets are $15 on that. You can go to oklahomahomesteadrendezvous.org or find it on Facebook, Oklahoma Homestead Rendezvous. And as was just announced here on the show live this morning, we're gardening with Leon Sloan will be at the Oklahoma Homestead Rendezvous this year. So looking forward to seeing him there, and look forward to maybe seeing more things get added throughout between now and the event. But anyway, that's a great event. Looking forward to it, year two there. And then, of course, Homesteaders of America Conference, October 10th and 11th, Front Royal, Virginia. And that, haven't seen anything notifying me that they're done selling tickets, but I will check on that over the weekend, see where they're at on that. Anyway, yes, love the goat milk ice cream. Folks, that is a wrap for today on the Farm2Table Direct Show Morning Edition. Thanks for joining us. We didn't explore many headlines today. It was mostly about the Okie Expo and daylight savings time. But either way, topics that are important to us and impacting our world today and beyond. If you enjoyed today's episode, or if you enjoy our show, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with your friends, subscribe to our channels on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Rumble. It is the best way to stay connected, help grow the conversation about food, farming, and the community. Until next time, keep your roots deep, your vision growing. Good food starts with great people just like you. And remember, we are #stronger together. Scotty has already got that going on over there in the chat. And be a blessing to someone. I hope you all have hope you all have a great weekend. Be safe, be productive, stay dry if you got rain. Have you all a good weekend. We will be back on Monday. It's something to try. I will tell you that. 8 a.m. on about 8 o'clock Sunday evenings. Yes, definitely. And anyway, so I guess we could have a whole other conversation about goat milk. But anyway, but yeah, it's good stuff. Anyway, something we've only found at Ozarks Homesteading Expo. But anyway, folks, be a blessing. Have a great weekend. We will see you back here Monday morning, 6 a.m. Y'all have a great weekend. God bless. And I'm going to hand this over to Hank to get us on out of here.
No humans were harmed in the production of this podcast.